Hi everyone, this is Dominique from the Black Woman's Guide, and I wanted today to talk about the progress of my brand, the Black Woman's Guide, and how it's going and what's going on with it. As you all know, I launched the Online Business Academy enrollment on Tuesday, and it runs until January 21st. So feel free at any point in time to click the link above to actually check out a really awesome webinar that I created just around things you need to know if you are a coach, expert, or trainer and trying to build an online business and package what you know and put it online. So you can just check that out by clicking the link. But I want to talk today about the progress of the brand. It's been a very short time, and I wanted to talk about my experience and share with you some of the key learnings and how that has impacted what I'm creating in the Academy. So I started my the Black Woman's Guide last year, 2015. Now I've been a coach and consultant since 2013, so 4 years, but I had my LLC since 2007 because I actually had a bunch of different businesses that I actually ran. I used to sell scarves, import them from India. I had an online business called Blacklisted where I produced and showcase kind of like products from the Black diaspora that were from us, by us for everyone, that were high-end products. And I had a food company where I sold organic gluten-free granola bars, fruit and nut bars all over Philadelphia. So I've had a couple of different things, and I've run a couple of different businesses. I've been hired to run businesses as well, and business units. So I've had a lot of things. So I had an LLC since 2007. And I've been training and teaching with Lean Startup. I've trained over 1,000 entrepreneurs around the world on Lean Startup methodology. If you're in the startup community, tech community, you've heard it. It's customer discovery, it's design thinking, it's build, measure, learn, it's fail fast, it ships early. All this stuff that you probably have heard, these taglines. I was teaching that methodology of business to people all over the country that were social impact and also that were just people in jobs and also people that were just regular entrepreneurs. So kind of done all of that stuff, and I launched the Black Woman's Guide last year because I felt like I could speak to that issue because obviously I'm a Black woman. I've seen a lot of different business types. I've worked in nonprofit, I've worked in government, I've worked in for-profit, I've worked in social enterprise, I've been a consultant, I've been a volunteer. I've seen it kind of all from all sides, and I felt like there was a gap in the information people were receiving about how to build businesses, and basically being like, I've sat in a lot of rooms with a lot of old white men for a while. And there's a lot of stuff that I learned that I think will be helpful for other folks to understand about how business is actually done and how people actually approach business building, especially building businesses with scale. So not just building a boutique or a bakery where you have to be there every single day, slave on your business all day and night, never take a vacation, don't hardly have any retirement, to a life where you actually your business works for you and you actually get some freedom and back in your life, and you're not just working all day and all night, but actually can take that vacation, can pay for your kids to go to college, can get the retirement that you need, all that stuff. So for me, it was important to share that message of how do you scale, because I know for Black women, we have the anchor in our communities, and if we don't have any money, our community has no money. And so it's so important that Black women not only start businesses, but succeed in their businesses and actually are able to grow their businesses to a point where they can hire other people, not just pay themselves, which is what majority, 80%, I think, from the stats I just read on the, was it the census? I'll find the link, said we're the fastest growing number of entrepreneurs, but yet we are almost solely only employing ourselves. So I'm trying to get us past that to the scale side where real wealth is created. And so all that to say, that's why I created the Black Woman's Guide. And with the Black Women's Guide, I started last year, and I had a group, and it was a struggle because I kind of wanted them to talk about one topic, but they really were talking about other topics, and I was posting everywhere, and I was doing some Snapchat and some Twitter, and I was doing some Instagramming, and it was just awkward, and I didn't really like it. I wasn't really sure what I was talking about, and it wasn't coherent to me. And I have spent in the last 10 years probably upward of almost $20,000 in education. When I say not school, I mean my own personal education around online business building, around branding, marketing, whatever. But obviously, like anything, when you go to do it yourself, it always can be a struggle. So in July 2016, I said, you know what, enough of this. I know how to do this. Let me just go and do it. And that's what I did. And that's just what I did. I launched it in July, and so I launched the thing in July. I launched my course in September, which is really a compilation of everything I've learned, plus adapting it to our market and what I thought we needed. And I made $10,000 in less than 2 months, like maybe 6 weeks. And I was like, oh, I'm off and running. And so I did that. And then I had an email list. I did Facebook ads and organic posting, organic reach in Facebook ads. I would say that when it came to my email list, probably 80% of my emails came from Facebook ads. But I would actually say on social that maybe I would say it's almost a half and half split between organic and ads that brought people to my pages. So I have a good following of people because I post a lot and I post in different places that came onto social media. And then I had an engine from Facebook ads that was driving people to sign up for my webinar. And I was getting on the phone with them. And I was talking to women all over the country for about almost 2 months, but everything under the sun. And it was awesome. I learned so much stuff from a lot of my customers. And what I'd recommend if you're starting an online business is that you really think about how do I get in front of my customers, because that was the most valuable time I spent, was just talking to people. Not everyone was going to be someone that was going to buy something from me, but I learned a ton from the women I talked to and built a lot of actually really cool relationships with people that even if they didn't buy my product, we're still cool now. We still check in and whatever. And also people that just needed help with things that I could help with. Yeah, I'm not selling a product for you right now, but I can still help you with what you're dealing with. Right? So for me, that was really powerful and it was a great experience. And that's why to this day, I still do sales calls, but I also offer just free consultations as well because I like to keep in touch with my community. And that's been a really important part of my business and my brand building. And it's what I enjoy doing. So that just happened a couple months ago. And so again, I was doing workshops in real life. I was, making like $5,000 on a weekend just doing a course on my own. I was getting paid $1,000, $2,000 per training that I was just getting paid to go out and do. So I was already kind of doing this stuff on my own. And but then I wanted to build the online business academy. So I had to kind of tweak my product and whatnot and then go out and sell it. And then my list grew. And here we are in the new year and I'm relaunching the same online business academy I launched about 4 months ago and cleaning it up and making it better and offering to people again. And my list has also grown by another, 500, 600 people. And now they're more specific. They're mostly just coaches and consultants because that's what the product is. And I'll be doing a lot of different things from there. But I wanted to share that how that's going. And so because all that happened, I was able to build a brand, build a base. I have followers on Facebook. I have about, at this point, between all my groups and pages, it's been a couple months. I have about, with no real ad rev except for what I did for the campaign, I have about 2,000 or 3,000 people following me on social media, and I have another about 2,000 people on my email list that follow me. So pretty good following for only doing ads for 6 weeks, over the last 6 months. I'm cool with 2,000 people, and it's growing now that I'm doing ads again. And I'm now able to launch and restructure my social media. So now you're going to see the Black Women's Guide show where I interview Black women entrepreneurs from around the country that I know from my personal network, but as well as just folks that I think share a different perspective about Black women and Black businesses that we don't oftentimes hear or see. And so I'm really excited to bring that vantage point to the populace, to all the Black women that are watching this content. So that's also a new thing that was able to happen because I launched the Black Women's Guide. The other thing is I was able to start another course. So even though I'm launching the Online Business Academy, I'll be also launching the Back to Business School in the spring. So these are just kind of the growth process. And I wanted to share this because I'm one person. I'm doing it by myself. Now I'm starting to get people to support me outsourcing different services. And I mostly try to outsource actually Black women, if I can, to do the work with me. But I outsource the work and it's been helping me grow the rest of my brand. And I'm just sharing this because I think a lot of people are maybe looking at this and going like, well, I haven't done that yet, or I'm not ready, or I don't know who my customer is. And they think they have to figure it out all by themselves. And I'll just say, I've never figured out anything all by myself. I've always asked questions and learned and inquired and watched to see what people do and how I can adapt it to what I do. And I would just really recommend, and the reason I'm sharing the story about the progress is because the progress has been really fast. I made $10,000, and then I also sold a couple other small courses. I probably made another couple $1,000 between then and now, just selling little bitty stuff, little Q&A sessions, little packages, little courses. And so I also made additional money that way after I sold my major course. But all I want to show is that it's 6 months and I'm still here. My business is still alive. It's not thrown in the trash. It's making money. It's making money every single month. It's not dying, it's growing. And I think that's the most important part of what I want to share here is that I came from a place where I had nothing with this business And in 6 months, I have something. And it's not a huge thing yet, but it's going to be huge. And I know that because I'm building the structures and systems to make it there. And if anyone's watching and going, well, how do I know if I should buy her stuff or whatever? I always think it's the best to buy from someone who's just a little bit ahead of you. If you buy from someone who's like so far ahead of you, their solution doesn't necessarily always match what you're doing, because there's a lot of assumption and internalized understanding that they have that they're not actually able to speak to, or they just miss core components. So for example, I've taken a course that's talking about marketing, but one of the things I always think about is like, no one talks about the financing. How do you actually finance an online business? How much money does it actually cost? How do you understand how much the cost is to how much the action is? Meaning like, okay, it's cool to build a business with no money because you can actually do that online, which is you can't almost do that anywhere else, but you can do it online. Right, but what should I expect if that's how I'm building? If I have $100 a month, what does that do for my business? If I have 500, what does that do for my business? And understanding how those things impact each other, like no one talks about that. That's like a really important thing, because if you're building your business from scratch and you're trying to make a livelihood out of it, you need to actually know, what's my investment actually going to create for me in actual revenue? Because if my investment doesn't actually create a profit, then I'm in the red, which might be okay for 3 months, but it might not be okay for 6 months or 8 months or 12 months. So I actually need to know that. So for me, I'm just really proud of the fact that, 1, I stuck with it, 2, it's growing, 3, I have a product that I'm proud of. And I'm continually learning and continually growing, and I'm sharing that with everyone in my community. So for me, I'm just super proud of the work that I've done. And it's still messy and it's still sloppy and all this different stuff, but it's getting better and I can see it. And I just want to share that progress, because I did that, mostly on my own for the last 6 months, and I'm excited to bring people on to help me out now in the next 6 months as we really start to, really move forward. Because once you get the system, you just rock and roll it forward. I just want to share that story. So if anyone's interested in talking about their online business or what they've been doing or how they've been getting there, I'm happy to talk about it, because I was just there, literally, just there, and I'm not there anymore. And because I have some other perspective about business building, period, I think I can add some really good insight to thinking about things more strategically than just making some money or just getting to the next step, But I think I can empathize, because I actually was just there, trying it out, being really nervous, working it through, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. So that's all I want to share. This is a very long video just about the progress we've made. But yeah, I went from, maybe 30 followers on Facebook to 2,000. In 6 months, and I have 2,000 emails, and I've made at this point, over $10,000, and I'm proud of myself. And that was by myself. That was me just doing that with no other money, with no other revenue, just hustling, hustling it through to make it work. And to the point now where I'm actually growing faster, and I'm actually going to be working so I can actually pay for the increased growth, because I know that if I can put an extra $1,000 or $2,000 to my business, it's going to rocket my business out of control, and I cannot wait for that. So I'm losing some time, but I'm making up for it in revenue over the next 18 to 24 months, and that to me is a huge game changer. So I'm happy to talk about any of those things with you. I just want to share that, because if you're thinking about an online course, check out the webinar that we have, which talks about how to build an online business. If you are an expert trainer or coach, I think it'll be really useful for you. I think you'll find it very valuable. If you want to get on a call afterward, I'm happy to. If you want to enroll in the Academy, I'd love to have you. If you're ready to do the work, I'm ready to serve you. So I would love to talk about that as well. But I just wanted to share my personal story, because I think sometimes people don't understand like what people do and how it works. And, not everyone's in the same situation. So we have to be honest about that, and kind of get really clear about what it really looks like to really build an online business, and the ups and downs that you go through in doing it, because there are a lot of up and downs. There's days when I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to post. And oh my God, what am I going to talk about today? And oh my God, I need to figure out this Dropbox folder system, and I need to talk to my Facebook guy and look at the conversion. And it's, there's a lot of days like that. But there's also a lot of days when I'm like, wow, it's really happening. And that's freaking awesome. And that's what I wish for every single one of you. So check out the webinar, and I hope to see you on the other side. Bye, guys.